Okay, on the final example, we're going to graph a logarithmic function that actually has a stretch of 3. So our transformations here, it's not being translated left and right or up and down. The only transformation would be a stretch vertically of a factor of 3. Okay, just like the other ones, we'll start with graphing the exponential function, the inverse, of the exponential function that relates to the parent function here, which would be the most basic function of y equals log base 2 of x. Right, so rewrite that as an exponential function, so it's 2 to the y is equal to x. And now we want to exchange x for y so that we can actually graph that. And that gives us our inverse function of 2 to the x. Okay, and then we need to make our table. In our table here, remember, I can pick those values 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. Those are usually the numbers I choose. And then 0, I'm plugging in for x, or you can also use your calculator. So 2 to the 0 power is 1. 2 to the first power is 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 to the -1 power is 1/2. And 2 to the -2 power is 1/4. Now remember, this is the inverse function, so I'm going to go ahead and not graph this, but I'm going to go ahead and exchange my x for my y and write those points down and graph those instead. Okay, so I'm going to graph those points 1, 0. Sorry, that should be 2, 1. 4, 2. Also going to find out what's happening here as I approach the asymptote. So it's 1/2 -1 and 1/4 -2. So this right here is the function without any transformation. So now I need to do the transformation, and remember the y value is what's going to be affected by that factor of 3. So I'm going to graph right here. This doesn't change. Right here my y coordinate is 1. And I multiply that by 3, so now my point is 2, 3. This one right here, my y value is 2, so now that should be at 6. My y value right here is -1, so that's going to go down to -3. And I'm going to stop with that because I can actually see what's happening to my graph right there. And here we have the vertical asymptote is where x is equal to 0. My domain, remember the x, how far left that graph goes, is approaching 0, but it doesn't ever reach 0. And how far right it goes is to infinity. The range is how far down it goes. Negative infinity is less than y is less than infinity.